Welcome to the European Parliamentary Research Service podcasts.
In this podcast, we're going to talk about energy storage and how increasing our capacity to store energy, especially from renewable sources, could help fix climate change. Want to know more? Stay with us.
Wind turbines and solar panels can provide abundant electricity. But what happens when there's no wind or no sun?
Renewable energy sources are by nature variable and intermittent, and thus, unlike fossil fuel plants, cannot be programmed on demand to pump megawatts on the grid when we need them most.
But to ensure supply, security and stability, power grids require a permanent balance between production and demand. So how are we going to square that circle?
Well, here's one way. Devising new energy storage capacities could not only ensure energy security and reliability, but also help the EU achieve climate neutrality by 2050, as it has promised to do.
In 2021, only 22% of the energy consumed in the EU was generated from renewable sources. This is expected to increase in the future, but the key to boost renewable energy production in Europe and increase its share in the overall power generation is storage.
Now, there are different ways to store energy so that it can be used later, when and where it is most needed. For example, with the help of batteries, through pumped hydro storage systems, the most widely used in Europe, or chemical hydrogen storage.
Each has its pros and cons, but they share some limitations, such as their high cost, limited storage capacity, and extensive requirements in terms of storage and transport infrastructure.
There are also common challenges to their development, such as how to increase the capacity and efficiency of existing technologies, whilst ensuring an economic and regulatory context that promotes their development.
But there are more. Here's Louisa Ann Tunch from the European Parliamentary Research Service.
In the short term, the impact of energy storage on greenhouse gas emissions is more uncertain, and it would depend on the competitiveness of renewable energy sources compared to fossil fuels. Another challenge is that, unlike for gas, there is no common regulatory approach for electricity storage at EU level, and storage facility operators face double grid charges that discourage investment.
Furthermore, pumped hydro storage can be harmful for biodiversity, and batteries' raw materials need to be more recyclable. So in order to develop more nature-positive, as well as technological and economically viable storage solutions, we need common standards to assess the environmental impacts of energy storage systems.
In 2020, the European Parliament called on the Commission to develop a comprehensive strategy on energy storage. Currently, only 5% of the EU's total installed capacity is used for storage, but we will need to store 6 times more energy to become climate neutral by 2050.
To get there, the EU has put in place a strategic framework for the development of storage technologies, funding instruments for research and innovation, and a legislative framework.
Several Horizon Europe research and development projects are searching ways to increase the capacity and efficiency of current technologies and make power grids more flexible. But new solutions will need to be developed if we really want to increase the share of renewables in the overall energy mix.
Optimizing energy storage will give the power grid more stability, cut costs, improve efficiency and energy security and supply, and stabilize prices.
Want to know more? Check out Louisa Ann Tunch and Michael Sicot-Clier's full policy brief on the EPRS website or in our app.
This is a European Parliamentary Research Service podcast.
Thanks for listening.